Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a first impressions on the Morphe and KathleenLights palette. I absolutely loved using this palette to create this look. I also did a little how-to on how to contour, and if you guys want a actual complete full depth only contour video, please let me know in the comments below. And I will be sure to try to get that up for you guys as soon as possible. And I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, so we're just going to jump right on into the video. I already have my eyebrows done, and I already have my face moisturized and primed. Primer, I did use my Too Faced Hangover Primer. I like using this one. It makes my skin feel nice and refreshed. It smells like coconut, so that's a plus. So here I'm going to be using my Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion to prime my eyelids. And I'm also going to mix in a little bit of the Too Faced 24-Hour Shadow Insurance Anti-Crease Eyeshadow Primer. Just because I like the Urban Decay one, but I also want to make sure that my eyelids don't crease at all. So just to be safe, I add a little bit extra. And next I'm going to be setting my eyelids with the Laura Mercier setting powder in the shade Translucent. I'm just using a little contour brush from Lorac. Blending brush I'm using is the Morphe M535. So during this whole video, I'm going to be using the Morphe and KathleenLights palette, and I'm going to be using the Morphe Fall into Frost palette, the 30 or the 35F palette, whatever you would like to call it. I'm going to be taking these two shades as my transitioning shade, and I'm just going to work that into my crease, and then I'm going to blend it upwards a little bit. It's my transitioning shade, so it's supposed to help make the look as uniformed as possible. And here I'm taking the little bit of darker shade browns in the palette, and I'm using a chisel fluff brush, and I'm kind of adding that in the outer corners of my eyelids to kind of give it some depth and dimension in those areas. I'm also going to bring it in on the inner corner of my eyelids to kind of start my halo eye look that I'm going to be creating. I'm then going to use a angled buffer brush from Morphe and just kind of focus that areas on my crease to kind of deepen it. I'm still going in with the same two darker shades from the 35F palette. And here I'm going to be taking a pointed crease brush and taking the black shade and the brownish orangey shade from the Kathleen and Morphe palette, and I'm going to work that shade in on the inner corner of my eyes and the outer corner. I'm kind of pressing it down and doing sweeping out motions, dabbing it down and doing sweeping out motions again, and just bringing that up into my crease. And I don't want to just continuously put just the black, so that's kind of why I mix it with the brownish brown color, and I am able to then add how much depth I want to do for this halo look. The whole point of the halo look is to have the more depth shades on the outer and the inner corners of your eye, and have the center be the lighter shade. And since I don't want any harsh lines, I'm just going in with my buffer brush and kind of blending everything out, but then also going back in with the pointed crease brush and adding more depth if needed. Here I'm taking the Urban Decay Primer Potion again, and I'm putting that on the center eyelid to make sure the halo eye look pops and you can see the lighter shade or the color shade, whatever you're using for your halo look, the shade in the center, you really want it to pop the most. And here I'm just going to continue that on the other eye. I feel like it's better when I do it with my finger rather than a brush because I can actually place it. And I'm taking the green shimmery shade from the Morphe and KathleenLights palette, spraying some MAC Fix Plus on it, and putting that in dabbing motions on the center of my eyelid. I'm using an oval fluff brush from Morphe. Again, all the brushes that I use, the sets will be listed below. The red set that I have just went back in stock not too long ago, so I will put the link for that and the white brushes that I use from them in the description box for you guys, so you guys can see exactly which brushes that I use. I love these brushes. There's not a time if I'm going traveling that I do not take it because they are my go-to sets. And here I'm going to be using my Maybelline Dream Liquid Foundation. It was a little bit on the lighter side for my shade, so I mixed it with my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation in the shade 330. I still realized it was a little bit on the lighter shade, so don't fret. That is why we contoured, to add depth and dimension in certain areas. Plus, these two foundations, for me at least, I feel like oxidize a little bit, so it will gradually get a little bit darker in color. I then set all of my foundation with my Milani Make It Last setting spray. And here I'm going to be using my NYX Matte Liquid Liner to do my wings. I really like this eyeliner. It dries very matte black, which is what I loved. I used to like the NYC, but unfortunately it got discontinued. So now this is my new fave, and I have not done any makeup look without using it, whether I do a wing or not. So here I'm going to be using my Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara. When I use this mascara, I normally will only use it on my top lashes. I don't like using it all the time on my bottom lashes because I feel like my bottom lashes tend to stick together more when I'm using this mascara. And now on to contouring and highlighting. So for highlighting, you want to create light where the natural light is going to hit you first. So you're going to highlight the underneath your eyes, down the bridge of your nose, a little bit on your forehead and on your lower cheeks. For my highlighting, I use the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in tan shade, and I also use the IT Cosmetic Bye Bye Under Eye in the shade Deep. Here I'm taking a damp beauty blender and I am in dabbing motions, blending all that out underneath my eyelids. Then I'm going to go in with my translucent powder. I'm using the Laura Mercier setting powder, and I'm taking again my Lorac contour brush and setting the creases of my areas first before I start to bake. I will then take a not that damp beauty blender and dab it in the translucent powder for me to bake, and in dabbing, pressing motions, put it underneath my eyes, a little bit down the bridge of my nose, by my smile lines because I don't want those to crease either, underneath where I highlighted under my contour a little bit. And I will leave this on to bake for about a couple minutes while I do my powder contour. You always want to make sure you do your liquid contour or highlight before you do your powder highlight or contour, just to make sure that you don't mix the two, because if you do powder before you do your liquid, you will not be happy at the end result. And for contouring today, I'm going to be using the NYX Highlight and Contour Palette. For the contour shades, I'm going to be using a mixture of tan and toffee and putting those under the apples of my cheeks. You can do the kissy face to see where your cheekbones are. And then while I do that, I then take again the contour brush from Lorac and sweep away any of the translucent powder that I used to bake. The reason why we contour is because we want to add depth and dimension in areas where the sun isn't going to hit, where you want to enhance that bone structure that you already have. So here I'm just outlining my forehead area. I'm bringing it down on the side of my face, and I'm also buffing out any harsh lines that I did get from baking. If there are any, I'm going to buff it out at the end, and kind of here as well. I'm going to get the chin line for me to kind of just add a little bit of depth in those areas. I know my contour may look a little bit harsh right now, but trust me, at the end I do go all the way over everything and I do buff it out fully. I'm going to be doing here my nose contour and just taking a contour brush from e.l.f. and taking the shade Tan and kind of contouring the bridge area of my nose and my cupid's bow a little bit. And since I don't want any harsh lines, I'm just buffing that out, bringing that shade down a little bit. And then to kind of set my nose a little bit more and highlight it a little bit more, I'm taking the cream shade on the bridge of it. Here I'm going in with my Benefit Hervana blush and putting it on the apples of my cheeks. I'm using just a face brush from Morphe. Every brush and item that I use in this video will be listed below in the description. And for highlight today, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Ultimate Glow Kit, and I'm going to be mixing the shades Hot Sand and Amber Gold. And then I'm going to add some highlight to the other side and the nose area and the cupid's bow. And for inner corner highlight of my eye, I'm going to be taking the lightest shade from the KathleenLights palette and putting that there to kind of give it a pop of brightness. And for lipstick, I'm going to be using the NYX Lingere liquid lipstick in the shade Bedtime Flirt. It's for me at least, a very nudie pink, and I love this shade. So with an halo eye look, you want to make sure that you're also doing it to the bottom lashes. So here I am putting the black and brown shades on the outer and the inner corners of my lids, and putting that green shimmery shade in the center of those two on my bottom lashes. You want to just make sure that you are mirroring what you did on the top to the bottom. And for my bottom lashes, I'm going to be using the Bare Minerals Lash Domination. I like this mascara for my bottom lashes because I feel like it helps keep them separate, and it really volumizes it for me. And the finishing touches is I'm going to take this face brush from Morphe and I'm just going to buff out any harsh lines, and that is it, guys. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed my little how-to on contouring and my first impressions of the Morphe KathleenLights palette. Let me just say, these shades in here are highly pigmented. She gives you a wide variety of them, pop of color, neutral, and like always guys, please give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed everything today. If you like this look or this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already, please subscribe to my channel. I will truly appreciate it. You have no idea. And yeah guys, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. feel like I cannot talk today. My outfit.